Chapter 10. Shadow Behind the Curtain. After calling Lila and telling her about his talk with Norman Bates, Arbogast drove back to the motel. This time the office light was on, and the sign was lit, but Norman was nowhere to be seen. He glanced up at the old house on the hill. A figure was still visible in the window, the outline of an elderly woman behind the curtain. "I'll have to speak with her myself," he thought. He walked up the hill and noticed the front door was slightly open. Stepping inside, he removed his hat and paused, listening. The house was completely silent. He looked around. Old pictures on the walls, faded wallpaper with flowers, a mirror reflecting the dim light. Everything felt strange and uneasy. Deciding not to wait, he quietly moved toward the stairs and began to climb. He tried not to make any sound. Deep down, he felt nervous. At the top, he suddenly heard a door open. He turned and saw her. An old woman rushed toward him. Her face was pale, her eyes wild, her movements quick and unnatural. In her raised hand, she held a large knife. He didn't have time to react. The blade struck his face, cutting down from his head across his eye. He fell backward, crashing down the stairs. He lay there, unable to move. Somehow, he managed to lift his head slightly and look up. She was coming down toward him again, screaming like a wild creature. The last thing he saw was her face above him as she drove the knife straight into his chest. Chapter 11. A Visit to the Sheriff. Sam and Lila sat in the back room of the shop, waiting. "It's been over an hour," Lila said nervously. "Why hasn't he come back?" "Maybe he found something important," Sam replied. But Lila stood up. "No, something's wrong. I'm going to the highway. I know he's there. Are you coming?" "I'll go," Sam said. "You stay here, in case he returns." When Sam reached the motel, it was dark and empty. He called Arbogast's name several times, no answer. Looking up at the house, he noticed someone at the window. That must be the mother, he thought. He climbed the hill and knocked, but again, no one answered. Worried, he returned to town. "There's nobody there," he told Lila. "No Arbogast, no Norman. Just that strange woman in the house." "I knew it," Lila said. "Something is wrong. We should go to the police." They went to see Sheriff Chambers. It was late, but he and his wife let them in and listened carefully. Sam explained everything: Marion, the stolen money, and Arbogast's visit to the motel. "He called us," Sam said. "He wanted to speak with Mrs. Bates, but that was hours ago." "Mrs. Bates?" the sheriff's wife said. "I didn't know Norman had a wife." "It's not his wife," Sam said. "It's his mother." The sheriff frowned. "When did your sister disappear?" he asked Lila. "A week ago." "And why didn't you go to the police?" Lila hesitated. "She took some money." "How much?" $40,000. The room fell silent. "The detective mentioned the money?" the sheriff asked. "That doesn't matter," Lila said quietly. "I just want to find her." The sheriff nodded slowly. Then his wife suggested, "Why don't you call the motel?" The sheriff picked up the phone and called Norman. After a short conversation, he hung up. "He says the detective came," the sheriff said, "asked questions, and left." "Without seeing his mother?" Lila asked. The sheriff looked at her seriously. "Norman's mother died 10 years ago." Sam and Lila froze. "That's impossible," Sam said. "I saw her." "Arbogast saw her too," Lila added. The sheriff exchanged a glance with his wife. "Then who did we see?" he said quietly. Meanwhile, Norman slowly put down the phone The police are coming, he thought. I must hide Mother. He ran up to the house and into her room. Mother, listen. But she laughed at him. You foolish boy. Don't tell me what to do. They'll come for you, Norman said desperately. I'm not going anywhere, she snapped. This is my house. Norman tried to explain, but she refused to listen. Finally, he made a decision. He lifted her from the bed and carried her out of the room, down the stairs, and into the fruit cellar. Chapter 12. Room 1 Rewritten. The next morning, Sunday, Sam and Lila met Sheriff Chambers and his wife as they were leaving church. Would you like to come to the motel with us? Lila asked. I was already there this morning, the sheriff replied. Everything is just as he told your detective. I assure you, Miss Crane, Norman Bates is alone. I checked the place carefully. You didn't see his mother? Lila asked. No, I didn't. I'm sorry. He explained that if they wanted official help, they would need to make a report. After saying goodbye, Sam tried to calm Lila. Maybe I was mistaken. Maybe it was only a shadow behind the curtain. No, Lila said firmly. Something is wrong. We're going back there now. They drove quickly along the old highway to the motel. While Sam went into the office to look for Bates, Lila stayed outside. Her eyes were drawn to the house on the hill. Even in daylight, it looked dark and unsettling. Suddenly, she saw a tall, thin man at the top of the hill. He stood still for a moment, then began walking quickly down toward her. Lila called Sam. Norman Bates approached them calmly, as if nothing was unusual. Looking for a room? He asked politely. Yes, Sam answered. Norman led them into the office and offered a room. Sam asked to sign the register first. While he wrote his name, Norman kept watching Lila. She was reading the names in the book. He understood who they were and why they had come, but he kept his face relaxed. He handed them the key and offered to show the room, but Sam said they would find it themselves. When they were alone, Lila sat on the bed and began to cry. I feel something terrible has happened to Marion, she said. That house, that man, something isn't right. We need proof, Sam replied. They decided to search room 1, the room where Marion had stayed. After checking that no one was around, they moved quickly and quietly down the row of rooms. They searched everything but found nothing in the bedroom. Then they went into the bathroom. That's strange, Sam said. There's no shower curtain. At that moment, Lila noticed something in the toilet. She carefully took out a small piece of paper. It was wet, but the number was still visible. Look, 40,000, she said softly. She turned to Sam. This proves Marion was here, and Bates knew about the money. Sam nodded and moved toward the door. I'll talk to him. But Lila stopped him. No, I want to speak to the woman in the house. She told the detective something now she'll tell me. Sam didn't like the idea, but he agreed. He opened the door slightly and looked outside. It's clear. No one's watching. Lila quickly ran toward the hill. Sam quietly closed the door and went to find Bates in the office. Are you looking for me? Bates asked. Yes, Sam said, standing in front of him so he couldn't see outside. My wife is resting, and I felt like talking. Norman smiled. Of course. Come in, and close the door.
Подпишись, пожалуйста, или хотя бы поставь лайк. Один лайк не меняет мир, но меняет путь того, кто делится смыслом.